Hey everybody, I'm Lady Mariam for Grimmfest 2024, here with Maxime, the producer behind Traumatika. Welcome to Grimmfest.
Thank you very much for having us. We're so excited.
It is our absolute pleasure. Did I say pressure? Pleasure. So
Pressure and pleasure.
it's it's a little column A, little column B. So what is Traumatika about?
Traumatika is a wild movie about a lot of things. It tackles like subjects about like childhood trauma, possession. It has some slasher elements to it. It has some true crime stuff in it. It's really like a kind of a love letter to our favorite horror subgenres. So it's a movie, a horror movie made by horror fans for horror fans.
So there are a lot of interesting images in this that I think even for the subgenres that you tackle are very unusual and feel unique, even though I feel like I've seen I don't know how many horror films, but something about this, it's getting the festival circuit talking. What do you think is the secret to your creative process when just taking something and saying, you know what, we're going to make the film we want, it's going to be nuts, and this is our creative process?
Well, like we're like horror fans at our core. Pierre and I are like just like really big horror nerds, and we grew up watching horror movies and being affected and scared and excited about watching like all of these different like scary stories. So now as filmmakers, I feel like we're more in a way that in a mood that's like, let's make something that talks to us and that could scare us or that we think it's scary. Let's bring in subjects that maybe not everybody talks about, and just bring them into this really classic horror movie settings, so we can take a little bit of distance with the subject matter sometimes, because like some of the scariest stuff are like not necessarily like the devil and demons and whatever, but like some things that happen in real life to real people. So we really wanted to inject that in the movie, and at the same time use codes of horror movies that would like help the audience to take a little bit of distance regarding like the actual subject matters. We just want to make like horror movies that are scary, crazy, sometimes a little campy. And if you watch Two Witches and you know our previous movie, we love like injecting like some kind of like fucked up humor in our films. And I feel like Traumatika, even if the subject matter is like way heavier than Two Witches, we still like hang on to our campy little moments where like, oh, this is awkward, this is funny, this is weird. And I feel like this is what brings some charm to the story and to the movie, even if the things that happen to the characters are absolutely atrocious. So I forgot the question, but yeah, I think
Pretty sure you answered it, but I forgot it too. So, speaking of Two Witches, which you just mentioned, you and Pierre worked on that together. Pierre being the director who also directed Traumatika, and you've worked together again. As someone who works in the industry and has for a while, I have to say Two Witches was received so well and picked up so quickly with so much attention. And it was, even that was a very unique film that felt like you. It didn't feel formulaic. It didn't feel like you were trying to be something that you've seen before. And here we go with Traumatika, and it's the same thing again. It's very original, and it's getting all that attention again. You and Pierre, are you going to be working on more projects? Are you going to make more films? Are you going to change your direction, or are you going to continue doing what's typical for your brand and what's scary to you personally?
we are absolutely gonna keep making movies. We're really happy working together. We're doing some cool stuff, and we're fulfilled in the visions that we bring to each other, and like the way that we're able to create stories together. We are already working on the sequel of Two Witches that will be that will be coming out. Like, I mean, we'll probably be in production next year, so maybe the year after, like, the movie will come out. We have like two other movies that are fully written, ready to go, and a TV show, and it's all horror. We're big fans and big nerds of the genre, so we just want to keep doing that. It's so amazing again to be at Fright Fest like this and showing our work to people who are receptive to, you know, that kind of movies and just talk about it with them after. And it's just so fulfilling for us, and we're really, really excited to make more of them.
Yeah, totally. So, what kind of audience would you say is this movie for?
I mean, like, honestly, everybody who loves horror. Like, especially for Traumatika, if we talk about Two Witches, it's a movie about witches. It's a very, you know, it's a very specific thing. But I feel like, again, like, there's a lot of elements in this movie. But for Traumatika, I feel like we injected so much of our favorite genres in the movie, including, like, as I was mentioning, like, psychological horror, body horror, gore. There's like possessions, demons. There is true crime. There is like slasher elements. Like, we really like just mixed everything. That, okay, let's make a movie that has everything that we just, like, you know, the story could like cover all of this, and just if we like it when the edit is done, and when, you know, we've worked on it after. So if we like it, we're horror fans. So we feel like there's some people within the community that will feel like us. So I feel like this movie is for horror fans like us. And I know there's like different types of horror fans. Some people are really like catered to genre in particular. I feel like this movie is like for the all over like horror fans. Like, if you just like love the genre, like, I feel like you'll find what you need in this movie.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And I have things that I want to say, but I don't feel comfortable saying if you haven't seen the movie yet. But it's a film watching experience. Is that a good way to put it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like, we're so excited to show it in big screens because we shot it, imagining like it play in the theater. So I think there's a lot of sensorial things in the movie. Like, we rely a lot on sounds. There's a lot of POV shots in the movie. There's a lot of angles where the story is told, and different characters that experience different things differently. So I feel like it's a great theatrical experience, and we just love to see the reaction of the audience to the horrific, to the funny, to the crazy, to the story, the nuts story that we created. So it's just like exciting for us.
Yeah, definitely crazy. So my last question is, what word could you give us right now that makes zero sense before you've seen the movie, but makes absolute sense once you have seen the movie?
I'm trying to have a good one for this one. So give me a second. Let's see what word that would make zero sense. Because I was going to say trauma, but like trauma makes sense. It makes sense. Isn't trauma isn't title two. So I will say Mikey.
Mikey. Okay. It's a good one.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
You guys will tell us.
So if you get a chance to see the film Traumatika, if not here at Grimmfest, then gladly wherever you get an opportunity, please tell your friends about it. Let Maxime, let Pierre know what you thought about the film, and by all means spread the word, whether it's a good or a bad opinion, because every kind of publicity is good publicity, and this is definitely a polarizing film, to say the least. Thanks for being here at Grimmfest.
So much, Mariam.